Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character listener by me, so let's get into it. Lenny. Lenny was not usually clingy, but sometimes he was truly in a bad mood, and he needed you for that. He needed to be with someone that he trusted, someone who could make him feel better about his day, and those horrible things that happen that he has absolutely no control over. Sometimes, no matter how hard he tries, things go wrong, and he's just sitting there with that mess in his head. So, what can he do? Sometimes he needs someone to rely on, and he can't worry his siblings. He's too responsible, and sometimes being the one that can't lean on anyone, it's a bit of a responsibility that barely anyone could handle. And Lindy's been doing a good job of that. He's been doing a good job of almost everything until now. So it's not selfish that he feels this way. And as soon as he spots you in his home, he wraps his arms around you tightly and lets out a sigh of relief. Oh man, I've been wanting to see you all day. Lenny, is everything okay? You look tired. What happened? You ask, feeling rather concerned. But he doesn't say anything, and you get the picture that he may just need some rest and some quiet. So you will give him that. And if there's anything he needs to say, he will say it without further prompting. For now, you can offer him that safe space that he seems to need. That's why you lead him to the couch, wrap your arms around him, and run your hands through his hair, letting out a soft hum as he nestles closer to you. It was satisfying to be that someone that he needs, but you were also worried deeply about what's causing him to feel this way. Whatever it was, you trusted Lenny to tell you in due time. For now, though, you'll be there for him and give him that rest he needs, that warmth and love that he seems to desperately crave with your cuddles. Child. Childe can be needy and clingy, and he's not scared of seeming that way. To him, if it came naturally to him, then he would do it. It didn't matter what others would say. It didn't matter what anyone else would think. If he wanted to, he would do almost anything, really. And that was something that was satisfying when you were his partner. It meant that the two of you could be rather honest about your own desires and your own needs without worrying about what anyone might think. And he was not one to conceal his own wounds as well, so it made communication a lot easier. That's why, when he's feeling rather cuddly, he will be honest about that. There's no need to hide. And that's also why, all of a sudden, he had swept you up in his arms and smiled softly as he held you away. Child, what are you doing? You can't just do this. Matter of fact, I'm actually doing that, so it seems like I can. Come on, you look like you need to rest, and I need to cuddle you. Doesn't it seem perfect? It would be, if he were not doing this. Well, what do you want me to do? Wait until you're done working? You never finish. Come on, I'm sure you need the rest too, Ion, he says. And it's not like you were not tempted. You were very tempted by his offer, which is precisely why, after letting out a soft sigh, you nodded and let him cuddle you, resting into his arms and closing your eyes. Meanwhile, he was just so happy and satisfied to be able to hold you like this. To him, It felt like holding a large part of his world. You were someone very important to his heart, someone he would protect until the very end. And for now, he just wanted to hold you and to close his eyes and go into a deep sleep. Sometimes he felt rather peaceful, sometimes he really didn't want to fight. And right now was one of those times where he just wanted to appreciate living with you and being graced with your presence. Xiao, Xiao is not often cuddly, but sometimes all he really wants is to be with you and to be affectionate with you. So, sometimes that means just cuddling. His desires were rather innocent compared to most, so it was no surprise really. What was surprising though was the fact that he actually was being honest about them, which was not something that was usual when it came to Xiao. Xiao was always nervous when it came to what he wanted. He would always hesitate and mull over possibilities and his thoughts. He had no idea what would be appropriate and what not, and so he felt as though maybe telling you would be rather bothersome. But he wanted you so badly. He wanted to be in your arms. Those thoughts in his head, they were very bad and very cruel, and he didn't want to think anymore. And the best way to ignore all that evil was to be with you, to remember the good in his life, the good that was you. Which was why all of a sudden, as you were sitting on the couch, he sat next to you, wrapped his arms around you, and closed his eyes, melting into the warmth of your arms. Meanwhile, your eyes were blown wide, but you didn't dare say a word and break this moment. No. Instead, you wrapped your arms around him, and you let out a sigh as you looked at him, a smile gracing your features. Xiao, is everything all right? He didn't respond, and that was well enough of an answer, really. It told you the state of his mind. So you tightened your arms around him and stayed there, holding him for the time he needed. Right now, you didn't need to know what was going on in his mind. What you needed, though, was to be there and to protect him from those thoughts that were hurting him in his head and from that ever-present pain, just to even dull it a little bit, and then your effort would be worthwhile.